Hello, and welcome back to the Living Wisdom YouTube channel. The subject which we are going to discuss today is the purpose of religion. If you've ever asked yourself the question, what is the purpose of religion? This is the subject that we're going to focus on today. And I think that we will come to an understanding, a deeper understanding of this subject. The purpose of religion is to enable every individual to live a life in tune with the will of God, to enable every individual to experience deep within his own awareness the light, the knowledge, the awareness of the divine. The individual is more than just made up of the senses, the mind, the intellect, the ego, and the physical value. There's a deeper level of life within every individual, and that's the level of pure consciousness. The experience of pure consciousness is the experience of the deepest level of the human mind, and it's also been found by the latest findings of physics that the deepest level of the universe itself is a field of pure intelligence or pure consciousness. It's one unified field which is constantly interacting with itself. And through this constant interaction at an infinite frequency, all the diversity in the world emerges from that one unified wholeness of life. We can experience that state of life by transcending the surface active level of the mind and experiencing quieter and quieter and quieter levels of the thinking process until we transcend thought completely and become one with that level of life which is completely unified. That unified level of life is called the simplest state of human awareness, the state of pure consciousness. Pure consciousness is a state of perfect balance, a state of perfect orderliness, a state of pure bliss, a state of infinite freedom. This is the state of consciousness which can enable us to live a life in harmony with all the laws of nature. This state of life is the state in which we can live a life in harmony with the will of God, because all the laws of nature are lively in that state of pure awareness or pure consciousness. And by regularly contacting that simplest state of human awareness, our life becomes more and more attuned to the will of God, more and more in tune with all the laws of nature. And if we just think about it for a minute, all religions have one golden rule, and that golden rule is to treat all living beings in the same way that we would ourselves like to be treated. I'd like to read you some of these different descriptions of the golden rule from different religions around the world. According to Buddhism, it says, "Remember that you are like other men. As you fear and suffer, so do they. Therefore, do not do those things which will cause them trouble. As you would not harm yourself, do not harm others." And in Christianity, it says, "Whatever you would want men to do to you, do even unto them. One should love his neighbor as himself." And in Confucianism, what one does not like to have done to himself, he should not do to others. The rule of philanthropy is to draw from oneself a parallel for the treatment of others. And from Hinduism, behave with others as you would with yourself. And in Mohammedanism, there's a conversation. Anas told that when God's messenger said, "Help your brother whether he's acting wrongfully or is wronged," a man asked, "Messenger of God, I help him when he is wronged, but how can I help him when he is acting wrongfully?" He replied, "You can prevent him from acting wrongfully. That is your help to him." And in Jainism, one should treat all beings as he himself would be treated. Since all beings hate pain, he should kill nothing. And in Judaism, what you hate do to no man. One should love his neighbor as himself. And in Sikhism, as you sow, so shall you reap. This body is the result of your actions. And in Zoroastrianism, do not do unto others all that which is not well for yourself. So we see that the purpose of every religion is to teach one to live a life which is in harmony with the will of God. And the precept which encapsulates this is do all good to everyone and non-good to no one. We should do all good to everyone and non-good to no one. And this is the very purpose of living a life, a God-centered life, that we're able to fulfill these precepts spontaneously without even thinking. Our whole life becomes attuned to that level of natural law in which we only nourish every aspect of life and we never harm or damage any aspect of life or any living being. And Maharshi has said something very beautiful, which is so simple. And I quote, "See the divine in everyone and let the good Lord take care of the details," end quote. So this is really the aim of living a life in tune with the precepts of every religion, because every religion simply teaches one how to live a life more and more in harmony with natural law. And when we live in harmony with natural law, we're actually living in harmony with the will of God, because the will of God is what determines the laws of nature in the universe. All the laws of nature are expressions of that cosmic will. And when the mind transcends and experiences those quieter and quieter levels of the thinking process, one becomes more and more in harmony with the deepest level of life itself. And that deepest level of life is the level of the cosmic will, the level of the divine will. And as one becomes more and more habituated to functioning from those quieter, more silent, more peaceful, more harmonious levels of the mind, then one's able to live a life which is really contributing maximum to the harmony, peace, prosperity, and fulfillment of all living beings in the whole universe. So this is the very purpose of religion, to enable us to live a God-centered life and a life in tune with those laws of nature which govern the entire universe. So this is what I wanted to share with you today, the purpose of every religion, to live a life in tune with the will of God, in tune with all the laws of nature. And if you've enjoyed this video, please feel free to subscribe so that we can continue on our journey of self-knowledge and deepening our self-awareness. Thank you so much for coming.